Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flicks, discussion of Homeland. Ben Mankiewicz, my cousin John Mankiewicz. This is what I've always wanted. That everything at TYT would just be me and my family. John is a professional television writer, currently working on season 2 of House of Cards.
House of Cards. Wrapping it up.
As well, and now I see reading today, won't ask you for any information, but reading today that already we're having talks about season 3.
Oh yeah, understand.
So, good. Good to hear.
Talks are in progress.
Talks are in progress. We're here to talk about Homeland, season 3, episode whatever it is, the yoga play. I love
yoga. That was a good trick.
I like that. I love all the spy things. I like when we learn anything spy-y. And I liked that very much, of her calling on what Carrie Cullen, the guy she used to work with's brother, on a phone that I guess she thought wasn't tapped.
Yeah.
That's what's a little weird. Like, why is that phone?
Well,
and then saying she's going to call back.
Call back, yeah.
And this time, act like you know what I'm talking about. And then when he does it so poorly, he's a terrible spy. Okay.
He was sleepy.
See you at yoga. And then I love her little look. She hangs up, she's like, Jesus.
Have you ever seen that girl before, her stunt double?
Oh, the yoga girl.
Yeah.
I think yes is the answer to that.
Has she used it?
I think she set up a meeting with that girl in season 1 with, or maybe season 2, with some spy, with some source that Carrie talks to. I think she went.
She's really good at looking like
Carrie. Yeah.
I was fooled. I think Carrie might have been doing yoga.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked this episode, but there were a couple things in it that don't make sense. Let me start with this. This show is becoming reliant upon having its major characters be abducted.
Yeah.
Brody's been abducted. Carrie's been abducted twice. I suspect at some point Saul will be abducted. Like you can't keep going to that well.
Yeah. With the hood on the head.
Yeah,
too.
A lot of hoods, lot of broad daylight, or this time at night, abductions of people who people are theoretically protecting.
Yeah,
who shouldn't be out there on their own. So we had Quinn watching Carrie's house when she was abducted, and he saw the guy out there,
but not close enough.
But he wasn't close enough, and they made it a point to be not close enough so that he would miss. But you think once he saw the guy who was playing like Angry Birds while the abduction was going on upstairs, you would think that might have gotten Quinn to move in, because eventually
he did move in.
He did move in, but by that time she was gone. Too late. She's been abducted.
And they're going to put her on a lie detector.
And we learned, they're going to put her in a lie detector. It did. So then the last part of the coming up next on Homeland, which I frequently don't watch, I don't want any
spoiler.
I don't want any part of that. Some shows spoil too much. Mad Men, as we've said many times on the show, has become great at not spoiling it. Mad Men is just what? Hello, you? You know, they just don't. But we learned that the lie detector test between the world's most dangerous terrorist and Carrie involves him saying,
"See right here, what?"
Well, like, you're lying. But then he said, "How was yoga?"
Yeah.
Now, so maybe she's been outed because of the yoga play. But so let me
see. I'm not as sophisticated as you are. I really thought he was saying,
"How was yoga?" Yeah. But like, wouldn't Carrie's defense in that situation be simply, "Yeah, no, you right. Yes, you caught me in the middle of a spy thing because."
That's my job.
I'm still doing that. It has nothing to do. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, it would be more. It would be a red flag if I stopped doing any other operations. It had nothing to do with you. In fact, I can tell you, we were trying to find Brody's daughter, and I needed somebody to help me on that.
And this is the guy, the new terrorist, the new Abu Nazir.
What I can't figure out,
who drove in through Canada.
Right. Exactly. He just came in through Vermont. Is he a terrorist, or is he just the head of the Iranian? Sort of the Iranian CIA, and who would authorize these acts. But again, you would think that I guess we don't know if that guy just comes in through the border and says he's coming in for a medical device, right, coming in for cheeseburgers. I don't know. So did you have a problem with any of that stuff?
Well, I'm just unclear, because in the first season, Abu Nazir, there was an emotional connection with him, and you saw flashbacks to Brody with the guy.
Right.
And he was sort of a real guy. And with this guy, you've just heard the name.
Right, and now
there's not as dimensionalized. That's
right,
all.
so we're just saying, be afraid of this guy.
Yeah.
We're telling you, and it's less. Do you have an issue at all with the fact that because I loved, I mean, it was a fist-pumping moment for me, as I said on the show in the week before, when it turned out that Carrie and Saul were working together. But then you instantly, Alonzo was not so into it, because he was like, what? No way. That doesn't, and it doesn't quite, some of it, now they've told us that that was the plan right from the start.
Yeah.
Yet we were given a moment of Carrie by herself watching television, looking mortified that she had been outed as bipolar and off her meds.
Yeah, there was not. I think there were a couple of funky moments.
Right. Now, I guess maybe they'd agreed that Saul would get her in this situation, but she
or
didn't
they'd agreed that when you're alone, keep acting.
Keep at it. Maybe she didn't know that the bipolar stuff, that he was going to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's possible. So you left me so long in the hospital.
You left me so long in the hospital, I didn't quite realize you were going to out me like that on national TV. We were just going to... Yeah. We were just going to make me estranged, so so I guess, but I didn't like that they're telling us that it's been that all along. Like, it doesn't...
From the beginning.
It doesn't quite make sense to me.
Yeah. No, it didn't, and it also... It didn't quite... There's a lot of double exposure in the last few episodes where we hear the whole story from Carrie that this was a setup, and then we hear it again. The audience is told a number of times the same piece of information.
Yeah. Like, so in what piece of information?
Well, the piece of information that it was a setup.
Oh, right.
It's like Saul, it worked, and then they repeat it again.
Right, for
and
Quinn,
then they repeat it again for Quinn.
Right, just to let us know. Like,
yeah.
Is that treating the audience like they're not smart enough?
Well, no, it's I mean, it's good. These guys are good writers, but there's a way, really good writers, but there's a way to minimize, you want to minimize that a little more than they're doing, although it's a complicated
I've had an
plot.
issue with Saul having such a dramatic change in who he is, but maybe I'm wrong. But I thought that when Saul sort of now is, Carrie's always been on her own, he left her in the hospital too long, he outed her on national television, whether that was part of the plan or not. But like all of a sudden Saul is sort of...
She's a big girl, she can take care of herself.
Yeah, he's just not the guy who we thought he was. But I wonder whether being put in charge of the CIA, first of all, he missed this little... I mean, okay, I guess he's not the greatest political spy ever, because he missed the whole thing that this senator is going to get the job he thought he was going to have. I thought it was bullshit that he would get the job in the first place, so I was glad that it wasn't the case.
That's your duck.
That's your duck? Yeah, that was good. But has Saul been Obama-ized in the sense that, like, yeah, these are things you would never do, right? But then it turns out when you get the power, you keep the entire Bush national security apparatus and even get a little more serious about it. Like, you get the power and you become one of the guys in power, even if you were kind of a good guy before that. You can't help it when you get the power.
It could be, but when he said, I'm going to get this guy and rip him down to the studs, I mean, that was a pretty righteous, it didn't play to me as he was slipping into the same kind of...
I just think between the yelling at the translator who they brought in, he just didn't seem Saul-y. But then in his conversation with the senator, with the actor Tracy Letts,
he really gave it to that guy.
Yeah, like, I mean, we got it clear that one guy's in favor of drones and doesn't care about human intelligence, and Saul's old school and wants to do it right. But it's interesting that a guy who you feared and hated at the beginning, Brody, Quinn, is now sort of the
good guy.
He's the guy with the morality. He's the guy who didn't shoot Brody. I can't even remember why he didn't shoot Brody, but he didn't.
He's also the guy who shot the kid, and he's working his way through it.
But he feels the way you want a spy to feel bad. He first went out of his way not to kill the kid, and then killed him accidentally, and doesn't want it to be for nothing. So all of a sudden, Quinn is the good guy. Last thing, should Brody be back at all?
Well, that was the weird. That was the introduction of Brody in Venezuela, which, by the way, I saw your show about it, and it was great. But it wasn't just written by Henry Rommel. It was written by Henry and his son.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Henry had written the outline, and then he passed away, and then the son took the outline and wrote the script.
Oh, that's nice.
That's so nice.
That is really nice. That's good, yeah.
But I had a lot of questions about that. I mean, it seemed like a standalone episode, and how did he get there, and what's he going to do?
And do we, from a writing point of view, do we care anymore? Is like, is he relevant to this story, which is about, to me, is about the CIA? I mean, I'm worried that they're going to draw a convoluted line to bring him back in.
Bring him back in and maybe stop the new terrorist? I mean,
right. Doesn't feel
right, does it?
Doesn't feel right. Like I heard a rumor here in the offices here that because he was going to sign up for some new show, that maybe this would, you know, he'd get involved somehow. Somebody he'd get killed, and then we could let him and his whole family go. I don't know. I want the CIA stuff. I don't care about. I like Morgan Saylor, that actress, and I thought Jessica, the mom, had her best scene with Carrie. Like the frantic mom coming to Carrie for help.
Although going to Carrie, I wasn't.
Like, I guess.
Is she going to do? I guess maybe she's going to do that.
No one's helping her. Everybody's like, "You're the wife of a terrorist. We're done. Nobody's helping." So she went to the one person who she thought might help, and it worked.
Yeah.
I just liked that scene, but I don't care about Leo. I liked your thought on Leo way better.
I was wrong.
Yeah, that Leo was actually a plant that Carrie mentioned as like maybe he's being used to get to.
Yeah.
Like
they put him in her way.
Put him in her way, but no, he's just a guy who's just a sad kid who had a killer, and intentional or not.
I wonder if we're going to find out more about him.
I hope not. Yeah, like I mean, I think maybe we let that go.
I think these last 2 episodes were sort of setting stuff up, and I think it's going to move like a freight train now.
All right. Well, I hope so. I want the spy stuff, and I want fewer abductions. I don't think CIA agents get abducted this frequently. But I am looking forward to a little lie detector test. That'll probably be a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
And he got a new shirt, and he loves cheeseburgers because we all know that all Muslim people, when exposed to America, will just think we're awesome and eat cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah.
That's the lesson.
What they secretly love is love everything about America.
John, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's wild that we're not even related.
Next week.
Got the same name.
Thanks, everybody.